What's up everybody? Welcome to episode 7 of the Delorean build series. In today's episode we're going to be going over the paint, which if you guys see here, Martin has repainted the back of this car. The entire engine bay has been repainted. Martin got the quarter panels back on as well. So I'm going to show you guys that process. Martin did quite a bit of work, so I'll show you guys the process not only of painting, but the prep for painting. There's a lot that goes into that, body work, fiberglass fixing. So I'll let Martin explain a lot of what he had to do, and you guys will see that. We also made a custom flywheel. You guys will see that if you watched our Tech Talk video. If not, check that video out. You guys can see more of an in-depth dive on that flywheel. And then come back and watch this video. We'll be putting it onto the transmission, testing it. And then pretty soon, the engine will be going back into the car, and you guys will see that soon.
Okay, today I'm going to show you guys how to shape some holes on the Delorean engine bay. Since this setup that we're doing is so custom that we're going to need to shape a bunch of unwanted holes. And I'm going to show you guys how to use fiberglass and resin to start the process. And let's get right to it. Today I'm just going to use a surfboard resin since I had it. And these are actual cloths that they use to build surfboards, but these, you know, make great materials to fix and repair stuff. The most important part of fixing, repairing fiberglass is that you want to prep the area where you're gonna fiberglass. You know, you use pretty rough sandpaper like 36 grit to really get the surface to be jagged. That way when you lay fiberglass and resin, it'll really grab its surface and kind of becomes part of it. But if you don't prep, it will peel, you know, no matter how good you lay the fiberglass. So you always want to prep the surface. Just like any other adhesive or bonding, you always got to prep the surface. In this case, fiberglass, you want to go pretty rough, like 36 grit. 80 grit sandpaper would do the trick, but you want to make sure you have a really rough, jagged surface. If you want it to dry fast, you mix a little bit more catalyst, but that's dangerous because if you do that, it dries so quickly that it won't give you enough time to, you know, lay your fiberglass. So you kind of want to, this is something that you kind of want to play around with, but I try not to let it cure too fast. You want to like really pat it down so you don't get air bubbles. When you get air bubbles, you end up creating a weak spot. Fiberglass and resin is only strong when there's no air in it, and that this resin is seeped through the fiberglass, you know, which makes this flexible, you know, thing. That's about it for laying fiberglass. Now we're gonna let it sit and let it cure 100%. And then we're gonna take that same 36 grade sandpaper and sand it flat so we can go on to do finishing body work and primer and paint after this point.
1 hour later.
Now here comes the fun part. now that we have the surface all prepped, we're gonna lay some Bondo. Bondo is a lot like polyester resin that we use. You know, you mix it with the catalyst, and it's got a filler in it, and it's essentially the same product as what we just used. It consists of polyester resin. The reason why they put pigment in the catalyst so that when you mix it, you can see the consistency in the mixture. So you're gonna mix it until all the colors are blended together, then it's ready to spread. So when you do Bondo work, right before it gets too hard, you want to use cheese grater and basically shape as much as you can so you don't waste your sandpaper and time sanding it when it's fully cured. You know, right now it's about 80% cured. It's a perfect timing to use this, and you can shape however you want. So So we're gonna use urethane primer. I like using this primer because it fills very easily, and this primer is very easy to sand, yet very durable. So I've been using this, brand for a long time. So I'm just gonna mix it up and shoot it. This urethane primer has an activator. So basically it tells you right here, you mix it at a ratio of 4:1. So 4 parts of actual primer and 1 part of this activator. And just to make the primer lay down even smoother, I'm gonna add just a little bit of reducer so you don't get such a blocky finish, so it'll be easier to sand later. the
So I didn't film it, but as you guys can see, this flywheel has been a little bit modified because the outer diameter didn't quite fit within the housing. It was hitting the bell housing right on these little islands. We didn't quite account for, so we had to just take a couple thousandths off. That's why you guys see this little thing. And then once we had that fitting into the car, we tested it, made sure that the clutch was releasing. That worked great. And as soon as that happened, we took it back out of the car, and as you guys can see, these little marks and this little pen mark here is for balancing. We took it to a friend of ours who balanced it and made sure that everything was aligned correctly. Funny enough, because of the accuracy of the CNC machine, it didn't need any modifications to be balanced, and he just put the clutch cover on, tightened it down, and checked it, made sure everything was good, and then marked it where it needed to be. And everything works really good now.
3 days later.
That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. In the next video, my dad's gonna take this engine, get it prepped to go back into the car and run for the very first time. So we'll see you guys next time.